So in our previous chapter, we explored and unpacked the topic of frequency matching and energetic healing, or using the process of frequency matching, so using energy and frequency to facilitate a process of healing and clearing out in the lower or form-focused bodies so that higher energy can descend and reside here. And we spoke about how that descension, so that ascending, reaching up, and descension facilitates a healing and a clearing and a refining process in the lower four body system. But energy transference and frequency matching doesn't just happen up and down. It's not just higher frequencies translating and being transferred to lower frequencies and raising lower frequencies and lower vibrations up. Energy transference and frequency matching also happens horizontally. There's a constant exchange of energy and a frequency between ourselves and other people, ourselves and the environment, ourselves and the mental thought forms or the mental environment that we find ourselves in. And so our next chapter is going to deal with frequency matching and energetic hygiene rather than energetic healing. So this is the process of finding yourself on planet Earth in a physical body and learning how to relate with the physical plane, the emotional plane, and the mental plane in a way that isn't detrimental or harmful to the self and to other people or to the environment. So it's learning how to harmoniously exist in and interact with and exchange with the external environment. So it's all about boundaries and being grounded and present and looking after your energy and also looking after the energy of others. So let's explore that topic. We're going to read chapter 12 of my book, Healing, Wholeness and God Realisation. And chapter 12 is appropriately titled Frequency Matching and Energetic Hygiene. Frequency matching happens vertically, an up and down exchange and meeting of energy frequencies within the self. But it can, and absolutely does, happen horizontally as well. A sideways exchange, a meeting and matching of your frequency with the environment and with other people. I am certain that all of you have had the experience of coming into an engagement with a person or a place feeling love-filled, light and clear, and then have come away from that person or that place feeling deflated, heavy and tired. This is a common phenomenon experienced especially by sensitive, empathic and or peacekeeping or pleaser types of individuals, as well as individuals who vibrate differently to others. Let us imagine that you have two balloons. The first balloon is filled with air, while the second balloon is deflated with perhaps such a small amount of air in it that it is loose and sagging, pockmarked and stretched out, but deflated. Let us connect these two balloons at their openings with no ties or knots to keep them separated. Instantly, the full balloon begins to deflate as its air moves into the deflated balloon. It is the path of least resistance for the air in the once full balloon to balance out its environment by moving into the empty spaces of the deflated balloon. If the second balloon does not resist, then both balloons will end up filled with the same amount of air, the first balloon becoming more deflated while the second balloon becomes more filled. Without proper energetic boundaries, your own energy will move in a similar way. If you hold a lot of high vibration energy and you enter into a room which is filled with low vibration energy, perhaps there is an unkind sort of person in that room, perhaps the room is filled with self-centered thoughts, perhaps there is something debasing which has happened or is happening in that room, perhaps a number of people in that room are unwell or depressed or anxious. You become like the first balloon, becoming deflated as you energetically attempt to uplift or, at the very least, level out the sensed energetic discrepancies and differences in the room. You end up deflated whilst the room becomes somewhat uplifted. The same can happen when you spend time with an individual who you have sympathy for. They come away from the interaction feeling uplifted, and you leave the engagement feeling drained and exhausted. The cause of such energetic leaking is poor energetic hygiene, and more specifically, a lack or a violation of your energetic boundaries. Your energetic boundaries are like a semi-permeable membrane that should surround your lower four bodies. These boundaries are set and held through intention and through the setting and reinforcement of physical boundaries. They are the energetic outer layer or encasing which holds your energy in and holds the negative energy at bay, the same way that your skin holds the inside of your body separate from the external environment. The skin keeps the good things in and helps to keep the harmful things out. But the skin is also a semi-permeable membrane. It breathes and it is in exchange with the external environment. If your skin did not breathe, then you would very quickly become hot and toxic and suffocate. The semi-permeable nature of your skin allows certain substances to pass out of your body and allows other substances to pass into your body. It allows for a healthy exchange with your environment. In a similar way to your skin, your energetic boundaries should be a semi-permeable membrane. The correct use of boundaries is not to build a brick wall around yourself. It is very difficult to be nurtured by life and to feel the joys of being alive when you are holding yourself so separate from it. It is difficult to give and receive love and nurturance, to perform your service work of uplifting your fellow humans, to let God pour forth from your heart, and to receive the God light of others when you are bricked in and nothing is permitted passage. In such a state, you can contribute nothing and you can receive very little. You will, indeed, suffocate. You cannot thrive in such a pious and stifled environment. God is life. God is alive. But God is also discerning. Spirit and love are discerning, just as you should be discerning. To set your energetic boundaries, it can be helpful to imagine yourself surrounded by a golden bubble of protection. To begin such a process, place your feet flat on the floor. Boundaries are most accurately set and held and are more responsive and adaptable to your environment when you are grounded and present, fully seated and aware in the present moment. Take some deep breaths into the body, allowing the mind to become still. Draw your awareness from your mind and into your heart center. From your heart, imagine a strong rod of energy moving down through the core of your body, right down through your legs and into your feet. From your feet, imagine a root system like that of a tree, extending from your feet right down into the core of the earth. Let that root system anchor you here, attaching you firmly to and through the earth, pulling you all the way into your body. Feel the weight of your body and feel the presence of your awareness in this moment and this place. Here now. Steady, strong, and grounded, internally speak the words, I call forth a golden bubble of protection, and imagine a golden orb of light building around your physical, emotional, mental, and soul bodies. Reinforce this golden bubble of protection with your intention and your breath, and internally speak the words, I set my boundaries at unconditional love and above, and I release all energy which is not of me and which is not of love, returning it back to its original source with love, as I call all of my energy home. Feel how present you are. Feel how protected you are. Trust your boundaries and reinforce them throughout the day as often as is necessary, but especially before entering unknown or chaotic environments or while engaging with ones whose interactions normally leave you feeling drained or discordant. It is important that you set your boundaries at unconditional love and above, because this is a step which allows your boundaries to be semi-permeable in nature. By stating that your boundaries are of unconditional love and above, you code your boundaries with an energetic filtration system, or you adjust the permeability, which denies any frequencies which are less than unconditional love. Remember that your boundaries are a two-way filtration system. This means that they will not allow certain frequencies to pass into your energy field, whilst allowing frequencies of love and above, and they also will not allow you to send out or project frequencies which are not of love, whilst also enabling your love to pour forth freely. Your boundaries ensure that harm is not caused to you, whilst also ensuring that you do not cause harm to others. You must be in humility and know that you are not yet God realized. You are bound to make mistakes. It is inevitable that you will have frequencies of fear move through you. Sometimes you might be the deflated balloon draining energy from your environment or your loved ones. This is not something to be judged, just as it is not something to be judged in others. It is an expected part of the process of realization. Your energetic boundaries are set so that you can only contribute frequencies of unconditional love and above, the mirrored surface of your golden bubble of protection, lovingly reflecting your own fears and shortcomings back to you, so that you do not project them out onto others. A truly service-oriented individual always seeks to know truth and would always choose to have the truth of their own shortcomings revealed to them, rather than believe themselves a victim and cause harm to others as they project these low vibration frequencies out into their environment. This is a path of self-empowerment and self-responsibility, remember? It is also important that, as you affirm your boundaries, you also return all energy which is not of you and which is not of love back to its original source, not with judgment or disgust, but with compassion and love, as well as a strong and clear sense of who you are and what is not acceptable. You may be carrying in your energy field discordant energy which actually originates from another. If your boundaries are not in place, then you open yourself up to receive the frequencies which fill the space around you and which are projected at you from others. Most humans do not like to be uncomfortable. They would not consciously choose to suffer, and so they seek relief. They seek that which brings them comfort and which eases their inner state of turmoil. Though some humans can be malicious and intentional in shooting discordant energy off into their environment and at other people, most humans are simply unaware of their energetic reality and do not even realize that their thoughts and emotions fill the space around them, seeking physical and energetic relief. If you hold a high vibration and are not discerning with your boundaries, then low vibrating energy may naturally flock to you, seeking this relief. You may pick up all sorts of energy from other people and from the mental, emotional, and physical environments that you find yourself in. An important part of setting and reaffirming your boundaries is releasing any less than love energy which you are carrying from another, and also calling your own energy home. You may be projecting your disharmonious thoughts and feelings out into the environment, or lending them to another person who brings you a sense of relief or comfort. You disempower yourself when you do that, and it keeps you from truly taking responsibility for your own energy. You may also be energetically propping others up, feeding them your air where it does not actually serve, perhaps constantly drip feeding people and places that have become dependent on you, attached to you through energetic cords and attachments, which are like little channels that allow for the free passing of energy back and forth. You must call this energy home, reclaim what is yours, and visualize yourself cutting these energetic cords and attachments with a blade of light. You cannot set clear and strong boundaries if you are bleeding out all over the place or accepting the blood from others. So that's it for that chapter. But our next chapter very much continues on with this same theme. It's chapter 13, titled Negating Your Own Boundaries and Sympathy versus Empathy. So this is all of the ways that we are in violation of our boundaries and that we overpass or overstep our boundaries. So we might have our boundaries in place, but it's very easy to act against our boundaries or to poke little holes in our boundaries and to let energetic exchange or leakage begin in a disharmonious or a discordant kind of way. So we look more specifically at how to keep our boundaries in place and how to keep ourselves from violating our own boundaries. And sympathy versus empathy is a very, very, very important part of that. Maintaining the integrity of our boundaries and having respect for other people and their process as well. But for now, that's all.